10 key retirement concepts explained in simple language. After watching this video, you will no longer be confused or scared about all the jargon associated with retirement plans. We explain each term in simple, clear language so you can start saving for retirement sooner rather than later to ensure that your 65-year-old self is as financially secure as possible. Tune in now. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Let's roll. Today we want to talk about 10 key retirement concepts explained in simple language. Number 1, tax deferred. Now, with tax deferred retirement plans, you won't have to pay taxes until a later period. Deferred means that something is been postponed. So the taxes that you have to pay are being postponed until when you turn 60 or 59 and a half or 65 years old, depending upon the retirement plan that you choose. Usually the idea here is that you do pay taxes on this money in the future. So your income will be lower, so you will be in a lower tax bracket. That's what the legislator has thought about. This means that you avoid paying taxes on money when you are in a higher tax bracket and ultimately pay less money in taxes. Second concept, IRA. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Accounts. This is a retirement plan that you can set up on your own. No need to do it through your through an organization. So IRAs comes with tax benefits, and the type you qualify for depends on the job you have and how much money you make. Now, there are several restrictions on how much money you can contribute to an IRA within a period of 12 months, and you might be penalized for withdrawing money from the account, from the retirement account, before you reach the age of, pay attention here, folks, 59 and a half. 59 and a half. Now, traditional IRAs are tax deferred. As I said earlier, tax deferred means you pay money when you retire. You can contribute to them with pre-tax money in this case, right? So every year, the amount that you can contribute to an IRA fluctuates based on what Congress has set, and in the last few years, it has fluctuated from $5,000 to $7,000, and it really depends. The closer you get to retirement, the higher the limits. If you qualify for a tax deduction, the amount that you add to your traditional IRA will be deducted from your total income, and you'll pay less money to the IRS. Isn't that wonderful? This is really great, especially in this periods where the economy is a little down. People are really worried. It's important to know that the amount that you add to your traditional IRA will be deducted from your total income, and you're paying less taxes. So less taxes, less tax money means more money in your pocket. Roth IRA. Now, a Roth IRA is almost the exact opposite of a traditional IRA. So here is how it works. You add money to a Roth IRA post-tax. So taxes are taken out of the contribution before you put it into the Roth IRA account. And when you begin using your funds as a retiree, you will not owe any additional income taxes, right? So unlike with traditional IRAs, though, you have the option of using the money from your Roth IRA before you turn 59 and a half without facing the penalty. And this makes sense, right? As long as your reason for doing so is valid and fits within specific guidelines that the IRS has set, such as using the money to buy your first house. Now, the IRS is a little lenient when it comes to withdrawal from a Roth IRA because they've already taken their cut. So they don't really, the rest is your money. The money in your account, in your Roth IRA account, is yours anyway. So they wouldn't penalize you that much. And the guidelines are pretty lenient as well. Now, remember though that this retirement account is not for the wealthy. It's only available to people with incomes below a certain threshold. So the next is SEP-IRA. Now, SEP stands for Simplified Employee Pension. So a SEP-IRA is a retirement account for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and self-employed people. That's what sometimes you hear the word sole proprietors. So as sole proprietorship will qualify for a SEP-IRA. Now, only employers can make contribution. So a SEP-IRA is tax deferred and lets you continue to contribute more money up to $53,000 or a quarter, 25% of your income than you can through other IRA accounts. So the legislature, Congress has been very generous with sole proprietors, with entrepreneurs and small business owners, and understanding that there is much uncertainty when you are an entrepreneur than if you are an employee. So the rules have been relaxed a little more at their level. So the first four concepts that I have explained to you in simple language: tax deferred IRA, Roth IRA, and SEP-IRA. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We are still having a conversation today around 10 key retirement concepts explained in simple language. If you love the clarity and quality of the content right now, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so we can inform you whenever we drop a new show, rain or shine. And we do this every single day. Every single day, rain or shine, we release new shows. Now, simple IRA. Simple stands for the Savings Incentive Match Plan for Employees. Let me repeat that. Simple stands for Savings Incentive Match Plan for Employees. So a simple IRA is a tax-deferred plan for self-employed individuals and small business owners. Now, that plan is automatically tax deductible. So contribution can come from both employers and employees. And the thing here is that employers must add money to this retirement account even if their employees fail to set aside funds. Next, you have a 401k plan. This is a very popular concept when it comes to retirement planning. You've heard about it, and this is great. Now, many companies offer 401k retirement plans. Now, with traditional 401k plans, you contribute a certain percentage of your paycheck before taxes. Okay? And much like traditional IRAs, you'll owe income taxes when you retire and remove money from the account. So this is pre-tax. This is pre-tax money. Prior to retirement, you won't have to pay as much money in taxes because contributing to a traditional 401k reduces your taxable income. On the other hand, a Roth 401k, right? This is what we talked about earlier when we talked about Roth IRA. A Roth 401k plan mimics a Roth IRAs. So you're using your taxed income upfront. So you don't have to pay any taxes when you withdraw in retirement. Let's go to annuity, number 7. What is an annuity? Now, annuity is something you hear a lot in the insurance industry. An annuity is an investment resulting in regular payments from an insurance company that can be a retirement savings strategy. So an insurance company typically will pay you back immediately. That's what they call immediate annuities, or over the course of multiple years as your tax-deferred investment grows from interest. Deferred annuity. So you have this sort of, I would say, the compare and contrast between immediate annuities and deferred annuities. Annuities may take the form of bonds earning a fixed interest rate, right? Or they can be a mixture of investments that earn interest based on the market. Now, remember though that you are in essence giving a lump sum to the insurance company, let's say $1 million, and they will give you back that $1 million immediately with some interest. Immediately, meaning you get some kind of, there will be like 3 or 6 months, not immediately, but so they either give it to you within a short period of time, or they give you the money back over 10 years or 30 years or 20 years. Those are called deferred annuities. Now, you also have something called a defined benefit plan. You'll hear this a lot if you work for a company, and your HR will send you a form, and on that form you'll have something called a defined benefit plan. Now, this is a plan that offers a set benefit amount to an employee when he or she retires based on factors such as income and the number of years served at a company. Let's say you worked at IBM for 20 years and you retire. If you are enrolled in a defined benefit plan, IBM may, in this hypothetical example, promise to pay you every month $4,000. This is because you were earning good money while you were active. So every year you get $4,000. Let's say you were making $100,000 before retiring on average over the last 10 years or your last 20 years of the company. So you are getting $4,000 compared to someone who was making, say, $75,000 on average in the last 20 years before retirement. That person might be getting $3,000. So the defined benefit is based partially on the income and the number of years the person served the company. Defined benefit plans, such as pensions, are funded almost entirely by employers. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We're also having a conversation right now around the retirement concepts that you need to understand, and I am explaining those to you in simple language. Number 9, defined contribution plan. In a defined contribution plan, employees and employers, they're making scheduled payments toward defined contribution plan, like a 401k. So when the employee retires, his or her benefit package depends on its return on investment. Let me kind of clarify that. A defined contribution plan means that the company says, listen, we're contributing $1,000 every pay period to your account, and you, the employee, also are contributing $1,000. So per month, that's $4,000, right? Let's say you have a bi-monthly pay period. So you have $2,000 from the employer and $2,000 from the employee. That's $4,000 a month. Those $4,000 over 10 years or 20 years, whatever, will be invested. So the responsibility of the company here is based on the contribution, whereas in a defined benefit plan, the responsibility of the company is based on the benefits. So contribution, you have entry, and benefits, you means exit, right? So you have input versus output. This is how you have to think about it. You also have something called vesting. Now, vesting is a legal term that means ownership. Vesting generally refers to the money in your plan that actually belongs to you rather than your employer. Now, your employer may have a program where he or she watches the dollar amount that you have reserved for retirement, but your employer's money wouldn't be automatically yours. Some company might say, listen, you work for us for 5 years, you have to wait for 5 years before the money vests, before your retirement money vests, right? So the vesting period in this case will be 5 years. You'll likely have a vesting schedule that shows how long you'll have to work at the company before you're fully vested. Sometimes the vesting is immediate, sometimes it is gradual, sometimes it is deferred. So for instance, your company might say, listen, the retirement money is vesting right away. Especially if you are a senior executive, the company is comfortable that you will be sticking around because they have sort of maybe signed other clauses with you, other contracts with you that make the board of directors comfortable that you will stick around. So you have a vesting, an immediate vesting. You have a gradual vesting where, for instance, the company might say, listen, we are going to, your retirement money will vest, 10% will vest after 1 year, 30% will vest after 2 years, 60% will vest after 3 years, and 80% will vest after 4 years. And after 5 years, everything will be vested. That's gradual. You also have deferred. So for instance, the company might say, listen, you basically will, everything will be vested in 5 years. So nothing is vesting gradually. Everything will be vested in 5 years. So 5 years, if you stick around for 5 years, the money is yours. But if you leave before, you lose everything. Right? So this is pretty much it. We really appreciate your help today. Let me quickly recap today's conversation here. 10 retirement concepts explained in simple language. 1. Tax deferred. 2. IRA. 3. Roth IRA. 4. SEP-IRA. 5. Simple IRA. 6. 401k plan. 7. Annuity. 8. Defined benefit plan. 9. Defined contribution plan. 10. Vesting. Now, before I go, let me just give you a pro tip here. Actually, it's a series of tips for getting retirement early. Now, you want to figure out how much you will need to save for retirement, for a comfortable retirement. And an easy way to get ahead on saving for retirement is by taking advantage of your employer's 401k matching, because the company is giving you money, it's giving you extra money if you set money aside. So take advantage of that. You also, if possible, need to work with a financial advisor, right? So the person can help you answer important questions around your financial goals, and he or she can also help you narrow down your options from all the myriad options that you have in front of you. And then you can look into how to best reach your goals. All right. I'll talk to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.